Take the cardboard tube out of a roll of toilet paper and then wrap it with paper towels. Next, tape it and you have created a world-class brush cleaning station. Toilet paper is cheap, but would dissolve and make a mess if you didn't wrap it with paper towels. If you have two of these going, you can have one drying while you paint with the other. Swap out the paper towels once in a while, and you can use the same roll of toilet paper for many paintings. Booyah! Use white artist tape to tape your paper down with. Don't use bright blue or bright green house painting tape, even though you probably have a roll of it in your garage. Buy a roll of white artist tape. It'll last a long time, but mostly, having a violent blue tape border around your painting will skew how you look at colors in your painting. In my opinion, paper is the most important art supply to consider when you are buying supplies to paint with. So I will give you my quick Cliff Notes take on paper. Watercolor paper generally comes in 3 thicknesses, or weights, 90 pound, 140 pound, and 300 pound. The cheapest and thinnest paper is the 90 pound. And it turns out the best reason to buy this paper is to give it to someone that you don't like. As soon as you get it wet, it starts bubbling up, which makes your paint pool in weird and unfortunate areas. Also, it is really easy to overwork an area, and you have the paper start disintegrating, leaving paper fibers all over the place. Once the paper quits on you like this, there really isn't anything you can do about it, other than making cool paper airplanes out of it. Are there hacks to make 90-pound paper sort of work? Sure. But I think the best hack is to avoid it like you would a Pauly Shore's movie marathon. Meanwhile, 300-pound paper is the fancy stuff. It's like a steak at a restaurant so swanky that they don't list the prices. Is it good? Oh yeah. But it isn't cheap either. If you're planning to spend several hours on a complicated painting, I would treat yourself and get some Arches 300-pound cold-pressed paper. For most people, though, 140-pound paper is usually the right choice. It is a good compromise between price and how well it works. Honestly, I would suggest just getting some Arches 140-pound cold-pressed paper. It is the easiest paper to use, in my opinion, for the price, and you can usually find good deals on the blocks or the pads of that paper. There are other good papers out there, and maybe I'll compare them in a future video, but the simple answer is start with the easy-to-work-with paper. Arches. You don't need 173 tubes of paint in order to paint in watercolor. I would suggest starting with 6 colors. The 3 primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and the 3 secondary colors, purple, orange, and green. I actually use a limited palette of only 5 or 6 colors on each of my paintings. While I have like 100 different watercolor paints, I always pick usually 6 colors per painting and just stick with those colors. I mix any colors I need for my painting with those 6 colors. I also don't use white or black, since watercolor is a transparent medium. The idea is light shines through the layers of transparent paint, bounces off the white paper, and goes back to your eyeballs, giving it the cool watercolor look. Because of this, the idea is to use the white of the paper as your white. You can use white paint if you really need to, but it is a milky, opaque paint that doesn't look as good as the white of the paper, so I try to avoid it if possible. Also, black watercolor paint is kind of a dull color, and I get much better looking darks from mixing opposite colors, also known as complementary colors. More paint and less water on your brush will give you darker colors. More water and less paint will give you lighter colors. There's a lot more I could say about watercolor paints, but I wanted to keep it simple for this video. If you have any other specific questions about paints, let me know in the comments. Since you don't use white paint in watercolor, there are lots of occasions where you want to lift paint off of your picture. To do this, I suggest getting a small brush or two that you plan to use just for lifting paint. The reason for this is you end up scrubbing the paper with the brush and it wears the brush out faster, so you don't want to do that with your nice brush. As a matter of fact, I prefer worn out cheap brushes for this job. Flat brushes seem to work the best. The wetter the paper, the blurrier of a line you will get. If the paper is dry, you will get a sharper line. Some colors are staining and don't lift as well as non-staining colors. Staining colors have other advantages, but they are hard to lift. Regardless of if the color is staining or non-staining though,
You won't be able to get 100% white back, but usually you don't need pure white anyway. If you are using a cheaper paper, be careful how much you scrub the paper, as it may start disintegrating and the paper fibers may start getting strewn about.